Hello and welcome to the Worst of the Muppets Holiday Edition, presented by ToughPigs.com. We all know that the Muppets have made some of the greatest films, specials, and TV episodes in history, but everyone makes mistakes, even Kermit the Frog. In this podcast miniseries, we'll be taking a closer look at some of the worst holiday specials the Muppets have ever been a part of. Truly, these are the proverbial lumps of coal in our stockings. This week, we'll be talking about Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree, in which Robert Downey Jr. and the Muppets simultaneously hit rock bottom in what is commonly agreed upon as the worst Muppet Christmas special of all time. But before we get into this mess, let's meet our special guest. He's a puppeteer, puppet builder, illustrator, and a longtime friend of Tough Pigs. Please welcome Noah Ginex to the podcast. Hello, Noah.
Hello. It is great and awful to be here.
First of all, let me apologize to you. I forced you to watch Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree just so we could talk about it on this podcast, and that was a really mean thing for me to do.
Yeah, it's okay. I was willing to do it for Tough Pigs. And
I appreciate it.
I was delightfully surprised at how I could compartmentalize the terrible from the amazing.
That's
say that.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing about both of those sides of the special.
Yeah.
But first, can you tell me, what is your history with the special? Do you recall the first time you saw it?
I saw it when it aired. I don't
really?
even remember what year it was. 1990.
It was 1995.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember at the time thinking, what a giant turd it was. And I didn't know enough about the people involved yet to recognize what amazing potential was just squandered in this, thing.
I guess any bad Muppet thing is going to feel like squandered potential. We know what they're capable of, and then for them to just crap the bed, it's like overly disappointing. We expected more from you. Come on, guys.
Yes. It's like they got a little bit from every good thing that the Muppets have ever done, and they all joined together and lit a fart on fire.
Let's actually talk about some of those people. So first of all, before we talk about the people who made this thing, so yes, this special came out in 1995. It was a half-hour TV special, and it aired on CBS. Wow. It was based on a picture book by Robert Barry from 1963. So this is not an original story. It was an original story in 1963, but not by the time the Muppets got their hands on it. And we'll skip around a little bit the beginning here, but we get this opening credit crawl at the top of the special, and you see names like executive producer Michael K. Frith, who he was the designer of Fozzie Bear and the Swedish Chef and the Muppet Babies and the Fraggles, and you're like, whoa, Michael Frith. And then it's teleplay by Mitchell Kriegman, who created Bear in the Big Blue House and Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, that guy's famous. And then you see it's directed by John Stone, who's the executive producer of Sesame Street and basically created the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also, I can't remember if it's in the opening credits or the closing, but it's music by Michael and Patricia Silvershire, who wrote the theme songs for The Gummy Bears and Tailspin. And that's not quite as exciting, but Gummy Bears is an earworm, right?
Well, and also the cast, I guess at the time they weren't as, Stockard Channing would go on to had been, a star of Grease, and would go on to be the first lady on the best political television show ever. She was on the West Wing for all 7 seasons or whatever.
That's right.
And Leslie Nielsen, and it just Robert Downey Jr. It should have been just so fantastic.
It's weird that it seems like everyone that you just mentioned, including the Muppets, are at a weird place in their careers where they're just in between things. Like Robert Downey Jr. obviously had a huge bout of success through the 80s and into the 90s. And then like this is in his dark period, which we'll talk more about. And still like a decade before, more than a decade before he gets into Iron Man in the Marvel Universe. So
he had been Chaplin already, right?
Oh, that's a good question. My Robert Downey Jr. timeline is not quite so well honed to know off the top of my head, and I could Google it, but so could the people listening to this. You find out.
That's right.
So this special starts with Kermit the Frog, the guy that you came here to see, right? Like you want to see Kermit. And he kind of like wanders into frame. He's wearing a top hat and a winter coat. He's looking all fancy. And in like the weirdest, like stilted way of speaking, he goes, "Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Welcome. We must hurry or we'll be late for Mr. Willowby's famous holiday party. Who is Mr. Willowby? Good question. He's the very cheerful fellow who lives just beyond those trees." Who is this guy who's talking? That's not Kermit.
Yeah.
Kermit doesn't talk like that.
And he like is limited to like one little section of the frame too. Like I don't know if it was in that shot, but or like one of the other ones, but like he's standing there narrating in front of like just a very long, like establishing shot of trees, and it's just it almost looks like a green screen, just like he's standing.
Well,
there.
it is.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
but
it's like, he's definitely chroma keyed in. Yeah,
like a weatherman. Like standing there, like in here, like it's not.
Yeah.
He's totally disconnected from unlike Emmett Otter, where he's riding a bike and he falls off and all this stuff. Like it.
In Emmett Otter, he's riding a bike. In Christmas Toy, he's like climbing up and down the Christmas tree. The chimney.
Yeah.
Dressed as Santa. It's like there's fun stuff happening. And like, he's not really part of the story, but like you get this sense of fun before anything happens. There's absolutely no purpose to him being there except for the fact that they want to make sure that people know, oh, Muppets, I already like this.
And
you don't have to prove yourself to me.
Through the whole thing, I don't think Steve did anything else. He was just Kermit. So it's possible that he didn't even come up to New York to shoot it. Like, he could have just shot it on a green screen in Atlanta. And
that's right.
That's why it looks so disconnected, Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of how they were investing, how deep they were investing into this special.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't even need to get him here. You're fine. Do it at home.
Right. Ship him the frog in a box. That's way cheaper than
right. Yeah, get him the top hat.
Was he still wearing
Amazon.
His Cratchit outfit from Christmas Carol? I mean,
thankfully, it's not the Cratchit outfit. It is an updated Cratchit outfit. It's definitely, it seems slightly more modern, only slightly. It seems like what Bob Cratchit would have worn if he was rich.
Right. Yeah.
So he introduces us to Mr. Willowby. The first thing we see is Robert Downey Jr.'s Mr. Willowby. He flings open his front doors, and he says those immortal words, "Where on earth, on this most Christmassy of Christmas Eves, can my arboretum arbor vitae be?" And hoo boy, is that a mouthful.
And that's not the only time he says it. I think
it's not.
It's can I swear on this podcast?
I insist that you swear.
Because I don't know that it's Latin. I think it might just be bullshit. Like,
yeah. Do you think it was in the script, or do you think that was just Robert Downey Jr. being like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this. I'll make up some words and it'll sound super cool."
It might. I wouldn't. You have to think about Robert Downey Jr. at the time. Like, now, he certainly wouldn't offer to make up stuff. Then maybe he would have like thought himself, the cleverest one in the room. But boy, is it bad.
I mean, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is this era of Robert Downey Jr. You could see it in his eyes. He is not present. No. I don't think he is of this earth. There's probably some sort of substance abuse going on, which, we have sympathy for, especially if we now know he continues to be sober, as far as we know.
That's right.
But like, this is, like I said at the beginning, like seems like him hitting his bottom. Like, he doesn't even really know where he is. Like, it's more sad than funny.
Yeah. And they mostly pin him to doing that one physical bit with Leslie Nielsen and the vase that, like, he almost knocks over like 7 or 8 times. And
right.
I think they probably, knowing what I know about John Stone and how frustrated he could get with, people not focusing and paying it, he probably just was like, okay, he can do this one thing. Let's just do that a bunch,
Right. Yeah. John Stone also is famously like, okay, we got it. We got to move on.
That's right.
Like, we're on a time frame. So like that also might have been part of it. But yes, you're right. So they're singing this song about the perfect tree, which I guess is what Arboretum Arbor Vitae means.
On and on and on. He just does not know where this tree is.
It goes on and on. No. But yes, he's flinging his arms, and Leslie Nielsen's moving the vase out of the way every time he flings his arms. It's not very funny. And then he goes, Baxter, which is Leslie Nielsen's character's name, and Baxter drops the vase. And he says, where could my Arboretum Arbor Vitae be? Who cares, man? So we also, in this moment, meet the Mouse family, performed by Kevin Clash, Julianne Buescher, and David Rudman. They are also looking for a perfect tree. God, what are the odds, right? Yeah. They go outside to find their perfect tree. They spot it. How big do you think that tree is? Like 20 feet more?
I don't know. The ceiling that they have to cut it down, it maybe 30 feet.
Let's be generous and say it's a 30-foot tree. And
Sure.
These mice are like, it's our tree. We're taking it. They climb to the top. And but before they can do anything, the tree's cut down by a bunch of, they're like lumberjacks, but also soldiers. Like,
but
they're marching
only
like they're
feet.
soldiers.
Like we
only
only
see their
ever
feet.
see their feet.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if they are only feet, they can get anybody to play them. Like, just
That's right.
throw some matching pants on Bill Beretta and, like, the 16 other additional cast members or whatever. If they shoot their faces, we have to worry about what they look like.
There could be 3 of them. There could be 30 of them. There could be 300 of them. We have no idea.
Right.
I think whoever did the costumes for this thing was probably like, oh, so I'm just gonna like make shoes and like the bottom half of pants, like
Right.
easy.
Who did the costumes for this? Was it Polly Smith, or do you know who the...
According the wiki does not have a costume designer listed. I don't know if that means that there was nothing in the credits. There's probably something in the credits, but I don't know who it was.
They probably just pulled from stock.
It's likely.
Yeah. Wouldn't it take like 6 years for these mice to get to the top of a 40-foot tree or whatever?
I mean, mice can probably climb pretty quick. I don't know.
Sure. It's magic.
But I just like, what was their plan? I mean, it seems
Right.
like they were like, yeah, we're going to cut this whole thing. So at the beginning, it's like they're going to cut down the top of this tree. Like the tippy top of it, which is like the whole point of this special is like, oh, it turns out that was the perfect tree all along. But like that was their plan from day one.
That element
no moral
of it
to the
I
story.
like. It's like, it's the fun of, like every new person that the tree comes to, they have to cut it down, and then the mice get this little, teeny version. Like that
Right.
part of it is fun, but yeah.
No, I agree with you, but like that was the mice's plan
All
from
along.
the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just going to take that little piece anyway. So, I don't know, whatever. So this tree, like, it goes, like, the guys drop it off in the Willoughby's mansion, and they stand it up, and it's too tall. And so Robert Downey Jr. is, like, throwing around all these $5 words, and he's trying to figure out, oh, should we cut a hole in the ceiling? Should we cut a hole in the floor? And then Leslie Nielsen just lops off the top of it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. If it was the perfect tree, it no longer is. Like, that's not a perfect tree. Like, he cut like a third of it off the top.
That's right. That is not the end from which you cut.
No.
If a Christmas tree
correct.
is too tall, you cut from the bottom. Like,
That's right. Idiots. They don't know. They don't know from Christmas. So, also, wait. I wanted to ask this about Mr. Willoughby.
Yeah.
How do you think he made his money?
I'm gonna guess writing for a thesaurus. Because he has so many $5 and $6 and $7 words. Like, we didn't even go into the, 3 different words he used for floor and ceiling. Like, I don't know. He looks like he could be an inventor, or maybe it's family money. Like,
It really feels like family money because he's such a spoiled little brat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna guess.
But I like your idea. I like the idea that he's like, oh, I wrote all these new words and I'm going to use them all the time until they're common knowledge. Like, everyone's going to be using, splendiferous every other day.
Baxterian or whatever he says to Leslie Nielsen.
Right.
But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. So now they have this top of the tree. Mr. Willoughby says, Baxter, you should take the new tree. I guess it makes a new tree. That seems right. To Miss Adelaide, who's Dr. Channing, who you mentioned before. And Mr. Baxter seems horrified at this idea that there's one other person who works in this building with him, and he is apparently completely intimidated by her.
I think he has a crush on her, right? Like, that's
yes.
Okay.
He absolutely does. Yeah, for sure. Although I didn't look it up. I wonder what the age difference is. Doesn't even matter what the age difference is. He seems to be like her dad's age.
I think Leslie Nielsen went gray early. But
True. Also, Stockard Channing famously played a high schooler when she was like 35.
Yeah.
So a lot of age discrepancy stuff going on here.
Stockard Channing is 79, and Leslie Nielsen has passed away, but
he's dead.
Right. So he's a good 20 years older than her. So
yeah, that's what I would have thought. Yeah. All right. Well, weird. Yeah, he could have been her dad. That's super weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird discrepancies, so Miss Adelaide is Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, that accent sure comes and goes, doesn't it?
She is about as convincing a Swede as she is a high schooler.
That's true.
She, being the first lady of the United States was the most convincing acting job she ever did.
That may be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also weird that like the Muppets already have a very famous Swede in their ranks, and so that's 2 Swedes that we know of.
She didn't even have a poster of him on her wall or anything. Like why not? It's built in.
But
that
but
could be
neither
why,
of them sound like a real Swede. They're both like mock Swedish, right?
Now that I think about it, that could be why Kermit is so disconnected, is because they really wanted to separate it and have it not be a Muppet story at all, it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which is why she doesn't have a poster of the chef on her wall, here's a hometown
How
hero.
hysterical would it be if this thing was all kind of period accurate or whatever the hell they're going for, and then except for that one tacked on poster with like thumbtacks in the background of this Stockard Channing scene, of the Swedish chef. So, but no, her apartment instead is decorated with what looks like about 150 lit candles, which is such a fire hazard, and also I guess a metaphor for this special, which is also a fire hazard. Yeah. They spot the mice who have been hanging onto the treetop this whole time. Baxter goes straight to murder. He is ready to dispose of them, despite the fact that they're wearing people clothes and are clearly sentient.
and like talking, like saying, "Please don't kill us." Like
Yeah, right. Yeah, please, sir, I want some cheese. They should be saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
And so
this
Miss
scene
Adelaide
though
is
has
like, "Don't do it."
the,
Yeah.
this scene has the funniest line in the whole special though, when he says, "We have a tradition in my family where we don't put fire on our hat," or something like that. Like that.
Yeah. Right, because he's wearing like a crown of candles and she's about to light them, and
That's
yeah,
right.
he's like, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
You're right. That might be the only joke in this special.
Yes.
I think it is the only joke in the special. We're gonna go through this thing and see if we remember any other ones, but yeah, like they didn't really try to make it funny. So anyway, so Miss Adelaide has the top of this tree. She puts it up against the wall, which is kind of slanted because she's in the attic, and she's like, like this wall comes out too far. So instead of moving the tree about 6 inches away from the wall, she's gonna cut off the top and throw it out the window with the mice.
Just out the window.
Yeah.
I'll just put this anywhere.
Makes you wonder what else she throws out the window. Just like
Right,
that trash.
like,
Yeah, just
There's
dump
only
it
two
all.
of them working there. Whose job is it going to be to collect this thing at the bottom? Like
Maybe it's like, I'll get it later. No big deal. So the tree falls and it is taken by a bear who looks very much like Beth the bear from Muppet Take Manhattan, which is pretty neat. She's just back from snuggling with Fozzie Bear to get a Christmas tree. And she takes it back to their cave. There's her dad, who looks mysteriously like Bobo. Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound anything like Bobo, but it sure looks like him. And it turns out they are celebrating.
He sticks out his 7-foot tongue.
So at one point, he's got a pot of honey and he's licking it. Yeah, and that tongue sticks out, and it's disturbingly long.
Well, and I skipped ahead. It's okay. Talk about the song.
Okay, so they're
dancing
They're dancing to the traditional honeypot waltz, which, by the way, to me proves that they don't celebrate Christmas. They have their own holidays, which I think is kind of nice. This is the equivalent of, hey, and Mr. Hooper, happy Hanukkah. And so so they do this dance. It's the honeypot waltz, and like it's not really a dance. They're just kind of walking around each other with honeypots. It's not really anything. It's not much of a choreographed scene.
The audience won't be able to see this, but during this song, I don't know if you can see what this is, but this bear, John Stone, was so just get on with it and do this thing that he did when they said, wait a minute, I can't hold this honey thing with my bear paws. He said, well, just stick your human hands out the end of the bear paws and hold it with your human hands. Like this thing holding this like whatever this is Pooh Bear thing.
That's
here's
what I'm seeing.
Hand in a glove.
It's like, okay, picture like Bobo the bear. You know Bobo. Who doesn't love Bobo? And there's like a hole in his wrists where like the Bill Beretta's human hands could come out. Yeah. And like where the hands come out, they're covered in they're like black gloves or something like that. So you kind of can't see them, but that's what's holding onto these honeypots. And so when they're moving around holding the honeypot, it looks like there are two hands coming out of the wrist. One that looks like bear hands and one that are human hands. It's weird. It does not look like it's way below the standard that we're used to.
Way below, but it's like this for the whole number. Like it.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes where all you could see is those hands because you can't look away.
And I don't remember what this is. This must be later. I'm sure it is. Never mind. But yeah, that's the first thing I noticed when I watched it when it was on.
Yeah.
Was like I've been telling this story for what is it now? Almost 30 years, that like this Christmas special has that, the single worst shot in the world, which is this shot where, like, the performer's hands are just sticking out the ends of the, like he just forgot to put. It makes me so
This
angry.
is like watching the movie Cats from a few years ago, where they they left Judi Dench's hands like un-CGI'd in a few scenes.
Did they? I didn't even see that movie.
They just didn't care. Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
but it's another. It's a very similar example, I guess.
John Stone was just like, okay, let's just get on with it. Do we know where this was shot? Did they do it in the carriage house? Like, what it had to?
No, it wasn't the carriage house, but I don't know. I don't know exactly where it was. This would have been like I think just before they had the carriage house. Okay. But that's a good question. I would love to know. I mean, the Mr. Willoughby's mansion set looks like big enough that they had a real set. You know what I mean?
They had the carriage house in the 80s. Because they shot the.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I take that back.
Stuff.
You're right. Yeah, Cloud Forest was there. Yeah, no, you're totally right. In any case, that tells you what I know. I don't know anything. So okay, yeah, this is such an embarrassing moment for Muppet history, and like such a I don't know, like an example of how little anyone cared. It really makes this whole special feel like we got to get it out the door because CBS is paying us a little bit of money to get something on the air by December, and we just need to move on with our lives. We have Sesame Street to film, you know. So once again, this tree that these bears now have is too tall for their cave. I guess the cave has low ceilings because we saw how short the wall in Miss Adelaide's apartment was, and she cut part of that off. Like already, it's like it looked like she threw about 12 inches of a tree out the window. So these are very tiny bears, I guess. And they chuck it, and also weird that like everyone just agrees to cut up a tree. Like they don't even consider anything else. There's no like, well, hang on, can we move it somewhere else? There's no problem solving. It's just, just hack it. You could hack it.
Yeah.
That's what everyone does. The new piece of tree is taken by the owls, who are the natural predators of the mice, which is terrifying.
And like the weirdest looking puppet I've ever seen. Like this, they have such a great history of making really good looking owls, like Hoots and, you know, the owl from Labyrinth. This, like, it doesn't even look like an owl. It's like,
this is your least favorite Muppet owl, huh?
A craft project that like somebody made in like a summer camp, or, you know, like they bring it home and the parent is like, that's great. Why don't you tell me
about
it on
the fridge
thing that you made? You know, they don't want to guess what it is because they don't want to upset their kid.
But here's the thing for me is, so the owls take this tree and the mice to their like crystal cavern nest with like icicles hanging down, and they start like I don't know how to say it other than they're singing a song, but they're not singing. I don't know how to describe this. It's like a melodic synthesizer noise, and they're just kind of swaying around a little bit as if this is their Christmas tradition. And it's nothing. It definitely feels like we have about 60 seconds to get through this plot point, and we really have to move on. We've run out of time because that honey bear dance took up way more time than we expected.
And it was only that good.
Yeah, right. And the father mouse is just like, oh, it seems like their tree is too tall too. They're gonna cut it up, and they get dropped out of the nest once again to their death. And
like how do these mice not have like severe physical ailments? Like after
I know, right?
Like
they should be dead 4 times over now. And also like no reason why the owls didn't eat them. Like once again, like owls eat mice, like that is fact. And also, no, like there's no ceiling. They're in a nest. Like, there's no way that their tree could have been like too short. Like they're just like, forget it. We're just gonna move on. They're gonna cut it. They're gonna move on because that's what happens in the book. We got to move on.
Are they putting? It's just occurred to me. Are they putting a Christmas tree in another tree? Like,
good point.
Where do these owls live? Like,
I mean, if anything, because they're kind of doing away with like traditions that we're familiar with. Sure. They should have just been thinking like, oh, we're gonna put this this Christmas tree as a part of our nest, and we only need a few twigs, and we can dump the rest of it. But they don't talk, so we don't know anything. They just kind of sway and look stoned.
Yeah, it's so much of the cast.
yeah, right.
Sways and looks stoned.
Yep. So now the mice have found themselves with their perfect tree because now it's finally the size that they like.
Right.
Picky. And they were dropped off right in front of the Willowby house where they live. But then once again, Mr. Baxter picks one of them up, and he has murder in his eyes. He's ready to drown the mice.
Well, he's got that handy axe that he can, like just...
Yeah.
There's that one murder shot from earlier where he like just picks up the axe right in the... Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same look that I had in my eyes as I was watching the special.
Mm-hmm.
But then Stockard Channing starts singing some song about, reminding him that murder is bad. Merry Christmas. So he lets the mouse go, and the mice get to go home with their tiny little treetop like they originally planned on doing. And then Kermit comes back. Remember Kermit? Remember him? He was in this thing for a minute at the top. He's back via satellite.
Yeah,
in
that's
chroma
right.
key. And he's like, "Oh, we're here at Mr. Willoughby's party," which I totally forgot that Mr. Willoughby was going to be throwing a party. Did you remember this?
No.
Yeah, like that was the whole purpose of Kermit walking through the woods to get there. Also, why I didn't even think about this. If Kermit was just riding his bike through the woods, this would have been so much better. Why Where is he coming from? Why is he walking? Like Kermit famously rides a bike. How cool would that have been to see him doing that again in 1995? I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever. Who cares? I'm focusing on the wrong stuff.
Yeah, they clearly did not care. So why should you?
No. Good point. Speaking of not caring, this party looks like it sucks.
Yeah,
it's like
it really
6
does.
Old people kind of dancing. The host is clearly inebriated.
Is there anyone in his age there's even at this party? Like,
no, everyone there is either mad old, and there's like 3 kids there who are just like shaking presents and guessing what's inside. 3 kids who are trained to look like they're having fun.
Right.
And Miss Adelaide and Baxter have a little dance. And here's the thing. They have this exchange, which has been driving me crazy since I rewatched the special. She says, "Mr. Baxter, where did you learn to dance like this?" And he says, "Miss, have you ever been to Buenos Aires?" And he says it like in the cadence of a joke. But that's not a joke.
No.
Like, what is he talking about?
Is it referencing something from earlier in the special?
No! I mean, unless I blacked out, which is possible, I guess. But, I mean, I guess he's trying to say to her, like, I learned it in Buenos Aires. But that's not a joke. That's not a joke. It's not a reference. It's nothing.
No.
Why did he say it? Why was it in the script?
Is it a come
Noah.
on? Like, is he inviting her to Buenos, like, if you like me dancing, you should watch me go to Buenos Aires.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I should pull out the book and see if it's in there.
We should ask Mitchell Kriegman.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So, in the end, I guess like everyone gets a shoddily chopped up piece of a tree. Merry Christmas. What is the moral of this story?
I can't, since you said it, I can't stop thinking about something. When Miss Adelaide, is that her name?
Yeah.
Throws out the piece of tree that she didn't want. It's only about a foot and a half of a tree,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
How is that too tall for a bunch of bears?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, they must be
I
the
know.
smallest bears. Yeah. They obviously had like no consistency with like how big is the tree, and then how big is the piece that they cut off, and then how big is the piece they cut off of that. Like it wouldn't have taken them that much effort to figure it out. It would have taken us 5 minutes.
My brain can't do the math on why they did that. So here's what happened. She dropped that tiny ass tree out the window,
Right.
and then the bears went and found a second tree that was too tall.
Oh my gosh.
And like so the story just started over. They just didn't mention it.
So by this logic, every tree is the perfect tree. Maybe that's the moral of the story.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. If it's your Christmas tree, it is the perfect tree, which is also the moral of A Charlie Brown Christmas, right?
I'm
That pathetic little tree, but it was perfect. It was just the tree they needed.
we
Wow.
were almost
We
out of this
really learned
thing,
something
and
today.
I rewound us, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. This thing's a mess. Our conversation might as well be a mess as well.
Yeah.
So, and then so then Kermit leaves the party, and he's like, first of all, he's the first one to leave, which tells you something, because he's by himself. He's walking out, and the metal gates that lead into the compound like eerily close behind him, like creaking, like they're alive, like in the Addams Family or something. And I don't know, how does he know this guy? How do you think Kermit knows Mr. Willowby well enough to get invited to this party?
I've done enough like private parties and hosting events and whatnot. I'm guessing that one of Mr. Willoughby's people hired Kermit to narrate something
Oh yeah.
as entertainment for people wandering past.
Yeah.
And that's why he's just walking away, because this is just a job to him. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want food, because then you might not give me my full, fee. I just want to go. And so
Yeah,
he's
I like
just
that.
walking away.
I like that. Like Kermit was a celebrity hired to be at this party. He
Yeah.
did the job. Like, I did the narration. You guys stay. You have a good time.
Right.
I'm gonna go. I've made my appearance.
My friend's
that actually
dad
explains
plays
a lot.
piano and got hired once to just sit in a gazebo in somebody's backyard and play for anybody who happened to be walking by. Like, I think Kermit is just, just stand there and narrate something. Like, just,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, and this is exactly the kind of behavior someone who has such an obnoxious amount of wealth like Mr. Willoughby would do. To be like, yes, I hired a famous frog to narrate my party.
Right.
Like, the neighbors are going to be talking about the Willoughby party for years.
And of course,
And I got the
because
perfect
he's-
tree.
And because he's bored, Kermit's just noticing what the mice and the bears are doing. Like, he's not even. It's like, Mr. Willoughby, he wanted me to stand here and say a bunch of bull. So oh, look, it's a mouse.
Do you think that Mr. Willoughby was upset that Kermit wasn't narrating Mr. Willoughby's life in this moment? He's like, why are you talking about that? I hired you for my party. I'm Mr. Willoughby. Talk about me and my butler and the lady who lives upstairs and my tree that we cut up.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my guess.
That's a good one. I like that. That's gonna be my headcanon from now on. There's one more thing to this special that is worth mentioning that I discovered while looking at the Muppet Wiki article for this special. So there was a commercial, like an ad for the special that aired at the time, that has a voiceover of Kermit the Frog being like, "Oh, there's a special with Leslie Nielsen and Sucker Jenner. You're gonna watch it," but it's not Steve Whitmire. It's a voice actor named Brian Cummings, who was like
Kermit?
the in that ad. I mean, it's just the voice, and Brian Cummings would do. He was the guy who did all the promos on CBS back then. So I'm sure he was just like, I don't know, I do a good enough Kermit if you can't get the real guy. And they were like, yeah, just do that. Yeah. So if you go to Muppet Wiki, there's a video. You can watch it. You can watch the ad, and they call it a Nabisco Family Classic, which I like because it's sponsored apparently by Nabisco.
Yeah,
it's not a Muppet Family Classic, that's for sure, but it's Nabisco. Nabisco will own it. So from here on, we're all boycotting Nabisco products because of what they let happen in 1995.
That's right.
Never forget, Noah. Never forget. Never forgive. So you said at the top of this podcast that there was some good and some bad. We've definitely covered a lot of the bad.
Yeah.
But Noah, what was good about this thing? What was your favorite part of Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree?
Oh, yeah.
I know, it's so hard to choose, right?
It's so hard to find.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of the whole thing has got to be it's either hearing David Rudman because he's great all the time.
Yep.
Or it's that in my tradition, we don't light our hats on fire line. Like that,
yeah.
You know, that was the only thing where I kind of went, you know, like.
Is this special so bad it's good? Like, is this like watching The Room? Or is it just like painfully dull?
It's so the good parts of it's painfully dull. The good parts about it is the scenes where it's just the mice family, like, and they're talking to each other because Kevin and Julian and David are good at playing off of each other.
Yep.
And like that's the only parts where you can almost say, well, don't pay attention to any of that other stuff. Like, just focus on this. It's a nice, like, everybody takes a piece of the tree. Like, that element to it is great. Like, it's much in the, like, Henson, like, there's room for everybody, you know, thing. Like, we all have a place in the universe. A special that is executive produced by Michael Frith, written by Mitchell Kriegman, directed by John Stone, sounds like it's going to be the most heartwarming Christmas thing ever. Like, Kevin Clash is good, Rudman's good, Julianne Bisher's good, you know, and Steve Whitmire, like, they're all good. Downey, you know, up until that point had been great. He was great in Chaplin. He was great as a kid. Like, Leslie Nielsen's very funny. Ooh, it's going to be funny. You know, like it is setting us up for so much win. And then it's like
isn't. It just isn't.
It isn't.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Right. I hear you. I every time I see this special, I go through the same thought process that we just went over the past hour. You know, everything you just said about all the potential, the stuff about the bare hands, the stuff about the boring owls, like every little bit of this, I feel like I just replay it every single time I watch the special, and I find that fascinating of like how aggressively bad it is. But I don't know if that puts it in the category of so bad it's good.
No,
like I want it to be so bad it's good. And there are pieces of it. Like we used to do these Muppet Vault events, like these live events in Brooklyn, and at our Christmas event we would always play the intro to this with Kermit wandering on through the woods, and then cut to Robert Downey Jr. doing the beginning of The Perfect Tree, and everyone has a good laugh. You know, it would be a little bit of a punishment to show any more than that. but it definitely at points is absolutely so bad it's good. As a whole, it's a little too like Star Wars Holiday Special. It's just like, oh man,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard being a Muppet fan.
Because it's not bad enough to be so bad it's good.
Correct. Yeah. It needs to be like more aggressively bad to be able to like get your friends together every year and have a good laugh.
Right. And because to have a good laugh at Downey feels mean. Because he clearly is not in a great place in his life. And, to having a laugh at how terrible the script is fine. Because assuming that he didn't make up those, unpronounceable words that he's tasked with saying, and those were all written by Mitchell Kriegman trying to make him into a Mr. Megorium, or but even that isn't so bad. It's funny. It's just
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. It was a joy to have a reason to rewatch this, if only so that you and I could have this conversation today. It was fun to be able to just rip this one apart and go scene by scene. And honestly, that may have been the last time I ever watch it. I think we topped it.
I loved having a reason to watch this. And now I'm reminded of everything I hate about it, and I never have to watch it again. And I am vindicated because I have been telling people for years about those hands sticking out of the bear paws, and now I've seen it and I have proof, and
Yep. It's on a podcast now. Everyone knows.
Part alone is satisfying. So
yes. Well, and anyone who wants to see those bear hands, or if you just need to see Mr. Willowby's Christmas tree with your own eyes, it is shockingly not available on home video. It came out on a DVD in Mexico, if you can believe that. That's it. So head on over to YouTube. I don't feel bad, directing you to the bootleg if it doesn't exist anywhere else. But it's on YouTube. You can watch it there. It's only a half hour long. Watch it with your family and then say, gotcha. So Noah, thank you again for joining us.
If they are still sitting there.
Yeah, right. If they're still there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Noah, thank you so much for joining me for this. This was a blast to get to talk about the special with you. Can you please let these fine folks know where on the internet, if anywhere, that they could find you?
You can see my art. I'm on Instagram. It's at Art by Noah Ginex. Or you can see my puppets there at Noah Ginex Puppet Co. You can Google my name, and a ton of things will pop up. And you can see my art on Tough Pigs. I do it there sometimes.
I do have to direct people. Last year, you did a fantastic daily series of Muppet illustrations for the entire year, and I think we published all of them on Tough Pigs. I don't think we missed any. If we did, I apologize. I meant to. But man, you did so much amazing stuff, and there's a Bob's Burger series and a Batman series, and all these great crossovers with Muppets, and they're hysterical and very weird, and I love them all. And you're still making great Muppet art, so everyone should follow you on Instagram.
I'm thinking of doing another drawing a day.
Another drawing a day?
Another drawing a day. We'll see. The first one will, of course, have to be a tribute to you, because your birthday is the first important day of the year. So
I appreciate that. That brings a lot of joy to my face. I feel honored to be your first drawing, and what a way to set up for disappointment.
I feel honored to be here. I love Tough Pigs so much, and
thank you.
I'm just excited to be back on a Tough Pigs podcast. So thanks.
Oh, great. Well, it's a joy to have you here. And folks, if you like what you've heard, hopefully you'll check us out on toughpigs.com. We're also on all of the social media networks like Twitter and Facebook and Blue Sky and Threads and Instagram and Tumblr and TikTok. We also have a Patreon and a TeePublic where we're selling some cool stuff. And we also have a Discord now. So please check out our Discord and join in on the conversation and make some friends with some more Muppet fans like us. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we will be back next week with another episode of the Worst of the Muppets Holiday Edition. Bye, everyone.